Yo, what's good, y'all? You Dub back here again, here in 2019. More fresh new content, you already know. Dropping more about basketball. Now, this video will be the first where I talk about positions. I have a lot to say about different positions in basketball, but been thinking about doing a lot of different basketball content for a while. Started up last couple videos with some stuff, but anyways, now this comes directly. I'm like, oh goodness, I'm really gonna have to do talking about my views on positions because one guy I was talking on a video on Zion Williamson, okay, it was undisputed, and saw these comments, and one of the comments asked, what position he's gonna play because 1, 2, 3, 4 can't really play any of those five, right? And then I had said the three or you know off guard. And one of the guys was like, yo, off guard, isn't that simply a shooting forward? I'm like, oh my goodness, these people really don't know what this term means. Then I don't have the comment pulled out that I typed out, but I'm like, I might as well do a video on what positions actually are and what all do they encompass. So, for those you don't know, an off guard is like a third guard. Okay, it depends. An off guard really is a third guard. Now, you mainly only see this, you don't see this really in youth basketball because in youth basketball, it's like with Little League, you're trying to teach the kids how to actually play the game, right? And what you really want is yeah, you talk about 1 through 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you really want is like the old school. You want a point guard, you want a shooting guard, you want a small forward, you want a power forward, and you want a center. But the reality is that teams aren't always wired like that because of the personnel that you have. So in high school and in college, predominantly in high school, you see this off guard. You will see it in college only when you are a guard heavy starting lineup, okay? Where you might have a big man or, two forwards or whatever. And that third guy, he's like super good, but he's not big enough to be a forward. Now, you don't really see the off guard in the NBA because in the NBA, for three reasons. Number one, size. Number two, pick and roll basketball. Okay, makes it nearly obsolete. And number three, because of you can't really play true zone defense, so it's inadequate in that regard. Now, the off guard, like I say, is really a third guard. Um, can kind of play forward, but it really depends on the offense and defensive set. Now, if we're talking, let's say, on defense, 3-3-2, okay, it makes it really easy. Instead of pulling one of your big guys out on top, the off guard will probably be on one of the wings, usually your point guard or your quick guys up top on a 3-3-2. And don't worry, do a video on different defensive schemes and how they run. But if you know what I mean, three up top, two down low. Okay. Usually your big men are the two ones down low. So the off guard allows you to effectively do a 3-3-2. Off guard helps if you're talking about on full court press. Okay. It helps there. Traps. It helps for half court traps. Helps for anything like that. In case of being, let's say you're playing man or a man zone, and you have a really dynamic perimeter shooting game, like a explosive perimeter shooting game, that off guard is a quick enough guy to where he can stay with that guy. The forwards usually at a lower level aren't quick enough on their feet to be able to get out there. Okay. And so you don't want your big man to get into foul trouble, but your small guys can't quite cover. Let's say he's a bigger guard, small guys. So that off guard is a great example. Or the off guard could simply just be another guard. If you ever seen read or watch Kuroko no Basket, okay, Kuroko no Basket is a phenomenal anime and manga. I happen rocks heavily with the manga, one of my all-time favorite. Kuroko is really an off guard, even though he's small. He's not a power. He's not a point guard. He's just an off guard. He's just another guard. Okay. Um, Defensively, also in for example, the 2-1-2. 2-1-2 is two up top, one in the center, and two in the block. Now in the 2-1-2, the off guard may drop to the block. He may be like a forward, or in a lot of cases, the off guard might surprisingly you would think just the center. Well, depending on the type of team you're playing, they might have their bigs on the blocks, or they might have a big on the block. The off guard might be the middle centerpiece of the defense because he's quick enough to get outside or to get up top or to help rebound. So your bigs can be on the block, depending if the 2-1-2 that you're playing. If you're playing a 2-1-2 where you might have to stretch out the defense, then the off guard might drop down to the block and be able to get out there on the perimeter while the big man can. But if you're playing a more slowed down, the guard and you're playing a perimeter heavy and you're playing a perimeter heavy 2-1-2, instead of having your big man having to come up, your guard is quick enough to clog up the paint without your big. See, it's a protection of the big man. It balances things out. So there is that. And at the lower levels, you don't really have as much with the pick and roll game. Okay, you might have more screens and such, but you don't have the pick and roll game depending on the style of play that you play. Okay. Now, you're saying, why does the pick and roll game matter so much? Because the pick and roll game is a bunch of switching. And it's man to man and switching and makes it, you don't really need that kind of guard. It really doesn't matter because it's person on person. If it's emotion offense you're up against, really doesn't so much matter. It just depends on the offense that you're playing. But at the lower levels, you can get away with more stagnant of a zone. Okay. So also the game tends to move a bit slower than at the pro level. Now on offense, what you're able to do is you're able to spread the floor out. Okay. Now imagine this. Let's say you're able to get, you know how they stretch for, which is a whole nother video. They talk about spacing the floor. Well, the off guard allows you to do that very organically without taking away what your base can do. You're able to spread the floor. Here's why. 4 ways. Number one, he can possibly be one of your best offensive weapons. Okay. Look at small forwards in the NBA or the threes. KD, LeBron. You looked at Melo in the past. Do I need to continue? Somebody like Kawhi Leonard. Do I need to continue? Y'all get my point here. There is a lot of threes that are some of the best, if not the best, offensive threats. Well, there you go with the off guard. Even though it's shooting, you can be like, well, what about the shooting guard? Yeah, the shooting guard has a thing. The off guard might be that, that shooting guard might be that hot hand, but y'all have to still respect the off guard because the off guard can get his on some Klay Thompson status. He can get his. You know what I'm saying? So it causes you to spread the floor. It means that defenses can't clog in on it. And if the defenses decide they want to play off or want to double up on one of the other players, whether a big man or not, you kick that thing out and he burying some shots. So now you in trouble. Another way is he can be a decoy. Oh, he hot. Oh, he the hot. All right, guard him, and he can just dish it out. Or now it just opens up. Once he gets hot, now it opens up the lane for everybody else. Easy buckets, easy cuts, and whatnot. Another thing is slashing and cutting. Kind of what on some D Wade or Kobe Bryant status could be a slasher cutter. You know what I'm saying? So that guts the defense, or he's able to get some good shots because he's able quick, without design plays, just a ball movement or body movement, bam, you can get some good shots for your man like that. You know what I'm saying? Another way is where you just have another person you can drop on. You can have roam. You can have a roamer. He can do a lot of things. The off guard provides so many options for you offensively and defensively that a traditional set doesn't inherently provide. There's always ways to exploit things, but the off guard is a position that I think should be utilized more, looked into, should not be scared of. Um, coaches need to be able to utilize their personnel. Okay, so there is that. But this is the gist of it. There's more you can get in depth about, but unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on it. Give me any other video suggestions you would like for me to do. Until next time, y'all have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace.